Do-do-do-do. Welcome back to Quantum Perspectives with myself, Jason, and my co host.
Yori?
And in this episode, we'll be diving into the topic of agree to disagree. You do you, and I'll do me. Are there really only two sides of a coin? Or are there really only two sides to every situation? So, Ayori, do you have any experiences with the topic, or do you know somebody who went through that situation with you, or you know of?
Um, well, I'd say it happens between us all the time. Don't you think so?
Yes, I do agree.
And, well, like in general, with any sort of situation like this, I'd say it's still important to be willing to listen to other people's opinions. But at the end of the day, it's all up to you to agree to that person or not. So maybe you don't agree with that person, but you can still decide to accept that person or accept that way of thinking or not. But then again, you should never really feel forced to agree or accept. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, let me just give or bring back an example that we talked about a few episodes ago about friend circles and being confident to be yourself in that friend group. I understand that you just said something along the lines of you should be able to understand and respect and be willing to listen to each other's perspectives and opinions and choices. But let's say you're not confident yet, so you get overpowered in the conversation.
Uh-huh.
So, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just agree with whatever you want to say. Have you had any situations like that? Come off as a weaker person in most conversations, depending on the topic. So I tend to just get absorbed in the decision. Okay, if they let's say, let's put it in a friend group. Oh, what do you want to eat today? And the group is like, oh no, I want to eat udon, which rarely happens, by the way. That's usually me. I want to eat udon, but I don't know where to go. But let's say people are, again, this is just hypothetical. I want to eat Korean fried chicken. Like, I want to eat Korean chicken. I want to eat sushi. And then someone else says, oh, I just want to eat desserts, actually. I'm not that hungry. And another person says it. But I'm being giant, internal and external. I'm hungry and I don't think I can live off desserts and bubble tea by itself.
Oh, I see.
But because most of the group said it, I have to go. Actually, this is not hypothetical. This actually happened. I completely
Oh,
lied.
a real story.
Accidentally, it turned out to be a real story.
Okay.
But the summary of it is I did eat dessert. I drank one bubble tea, and that was my dinner.
Oh,
After, but luckily, I already ate rice, like a heavy dinner at around 4 p.m. And this was around 8 p.m.
I
So
see.
because I'm on power saving mode most of the time, my body can conserve all that energy. But still, running on milk and lychee jelly and starch or tapioca is not really that filling, I'd say.
I see.
But what about you? Are you the type to get absorbed into the group decision, or are you gonna stand strong and say, well, I'm sorry, but this is what I want, or I'm actually really hungry, let's say. So I prefer if we can go somewhere where both of us can have our needs satisfied.
Sure. I think if I okay, so thinking about that kind of situation that happened to me, if I really don't have any suggestions, I really go with what group decides. But if I have some specific direction it want to land, I would make suggestions or suggest so that we can find a mutual point. Yeah. But I'm overall agreeable person, I guess.
Well, this is the wrong topic. But let me bring in another situation then, since you're such an
Okay.
agreeable person.
Okay.
Let's say there's a relationship and you're the third person.
Okay.
And in this situation, one side is very into communication. One side is very communicative. So let's say they voice everything. They're very good in communication. So you know
Mhm.
exactly what they want, what they need. But the other side is very quiet, and they're more on, well, you have to kind of get it. You have to kind of understand me. I'm not that vocal. I'm not that communicative. I'm very keeping to myself. But at first, that's what attracted me to them. They're very, not, they're really tsundere. They're very cold. But that's what I like about them. But over time, it became a problem. And you're the
I
middle
see.
person. And you know both of these people really well.
I see.
In that situation, how do you explain that? How do you take sides if, let's say, the problem is I just don't get them, and both sides express it. I don't get them because they don't talk that much. They don't tell me what's going on. And the other side is I don't get why they talk so much. Like I need my own me time. I'm a quiet person because I need my own me time. But they're always there sticking to me. Have you had a situation like that before?
No, so I'm having a difficult time imagining that situation.
I see. So it's the situation of they're very opposites, but they don't each fulfill each other's communicative needs.
Okay, and my question is, whose perspective are you talking from? Is it your perspective as someone who both
You're in
of
the
them
middle.
talk to?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You're in the middle. So you're the go-to, like you're the middle person.
Oh, I see. I think I've been in similar situation back in high school or uh let me try to remember what I did. I would try to put best effort into listening to both sides, first of all. But I don't think it's your job to solve that problem. Does this sound too cold?
But I thought you're our friend.
Yes.
I thought you're somebody we can go to talk about this. I thought I can trust you with this, that you will help me through this. Why can't you see my side? Why don't you try to put yourself in my shoes?
So both of them are friend, you're saying? Both of them
Yes.
are
Yes.
same closeness?
Yes.
See, that's the hard thing. Because when it happened to me, I was obviously more closer to one side than the other.
But this is hypothetical, so just to make
Okay,
things harder,
Okay. I'll try my best to be neutral, but
we are creative people. We have to imagine.
that's true. But then again, I still feel that it's not your job to solve that problem because okay, you'll be there to listen to them, both sides, but you also trust them enough that they can solve their own problem.
See, this is a perfect segue or example of where we differ.
Okay.
Because my opinion on it is, well, I'm their friend. And if they're telling me, then that means they trust me enough.
Uh-huh.
So, as someone who is neutral, I feel that it is my responsibility or obligation to try and keep this relationship alive, or, just to clear up the misunderstanding.
I see.
To see things from both sides and try to adopt their views. So that way I can really understand, well, what's the real concern here? Or what's the real misunderstanding here? Maybe this is a perfect example of where we differ. And I agree with your point.
Okay.
It's not my job. It's not my responsibility. It's your relationship. So
Uh-huh.
why are you going to me? Yes, I'm your friend. Yes, I'll listen to you. But I'm not here to solve your problems for you. Because you have your differences, and it's not my problem. To put in one word, it's like your relationship is not my problem. Like your relationship with each other, not with me. So shouldn't you be spending that time talking to each other and not me? Yes, of course, granted that sometimes you need to talk to somebody else, because if you I already talked to them and clearly it's not working, that's why I'm talking to you.
Okay.
But we have differing, and of course, I accept your view. It's just I'm not strong enough to say that because I'm too nice, let's say.
I see.
Because I don't want to see my two friends not be friends anymore. Unless,
Okay.
something really bad happened. But this is very under the assumption that it's very light misunderstanding.
However, right. So I get it really depends on the situation. And at the same time, I feel like feeling that you don't want to see them sort of like become not friends anymore is your own ego. At least that's how I see. Okay, so this is just, my point of view. Because at the end of the day, if them becoming not friends anymore make both of them happier, then they should do it, right? But again, like you said, if it's like a small struggle from like what you see, and if you feel like you can help them by sort of becoming the mediator, you might be able to do that. But if by doing that and still not helping them, you can't really help them. Like you tried your best and it was just not meant to be, or
Let me adjust the
okay.
parameters or situation
Yes.
then.
Yes.
Let's shift it towards a more introverted direction. Let's say one of them, going off of our last episode on MBTI, let's
Uh-huh.
say one of them is an E and the other one's an I. Very extreme polars.
Okay.
Let's say one of them likes to hang out and go out a lot. They want to spend time outside. Assuming this is in Japan, maybe we go to like Universal, Tokyo Disneyland, Disney
Ooh.
Sea, very date spots. Of course, there's other spots too. Clearly, I'm not local, so what would I know? But and then let's say the other one is very stay at home. They're like a cat. They just lie down at home because they need to recharge. And I, as the introvert middle person,
I see.
am trying to explain to this extrovert that, oh, they just need time to recharge because they get tired from going out that much. But they can't understand that because for them, I can't survive a day just staying at home. Like I need to be outside. That's where my life is. But this person, like your friend, they just lie down at home and do nothing.
I
And
see.
they call that really fun. So as an introvert, it's a bit one I feel attacked because That's my favorite activity. That's my favorite sports, by the way. Sleeping is my favorite sports. Not really.
Same though. Same though. Remember that I'm also an introvert.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd change this to something that we both can more relate to.
Uh-huh.
Of course, I'm not saying that everyone's the same. There are different kinds of introverts, as we've mentioned before. Just because we are I something doesn't mean that we all can be categorized the same way. But how would you try to resolve this misunderstanding that of one person thinks, I just don't get it why they like to go out so much. It's tiring going outside. And the other one thinks, well, why do they like staying at home so much? There's really nothing to do at home.
So, and as an introvert, right? So you relate more with one side than the other.
Yes.
And you want to speak how introverts feel to an extrovert person. Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I'm just trying and resolve the misunderstanding that I don't think this can work out. Because clearly there is a fine line, as I like going out too. I just can't go out that often because it exhausts me.
I see.
Even if I'm just sitting in the car doing nothing. Like I'm just sitting there and on like as a passenger. It exhausts me.
So you want to help them find their
Balance.
mutual point. I see.
But
So
then you have to see this from two sides. Remember, you have to see it from the extrovert side and the introvert side.
right.
But there's a saying that I heard somewhere: people can only do what they know.
Right.
So I am an ambivert, so I can be because of my work as well. I have to be extroverted. I have to socialize. I have to be all high attention, hyper, because I need to talk with my clients and be like, oh my gosh, like, oh, you're doing so well, and all these customer service mode is what most people call it. It's like, oh, how may I help you today? So then you go home and like, man, the day was so exhausting. I have no energy left. But then, as soon as like a client comes up or like someone contacts you, you go from like, oh, I really am tired today, and suddenly, oh hi, how may I help you today? Like there's that mode switch. I can do that maybe because I've learned to do that.
For her.
But I don't know. I'm assuming you're kind of the same because you've
Right.
talked to people as well as
Yes.
an artist, I assume.
I
But
know.
how would you solve this? How would you solve this? Or sorry, how would you deal with this? Because it's not our job to solve it, as you said.
As a mediator, help them organize their thoughts, each of their thoughts. So like, it's kind of like becoming a mediator for like two kids wanting to use the same toy type of situation, I guess. And
Is this from real experience?
kind of.
Oh my.
Yeah, when I was in kindergarten. And it's usually teachers' job to do that, but because I've seen teacher setting sort of like the same amount of time for each kid to use that particular toy, I've done the same thing for my friends. And I just check the clock often and like tell them, okay, it's your turn next, and like anyways, so I do something similar, but of course like in a mature way. Like, okay, how about you guys decide a set day that you guys spend time together, go out together or something, and use the same amount of time. For introverted person to have like a home date type of thing. Isn't that the best suggestion though? I don't know.
I have to agree with you on this one. That would be my suggestion as well.
And it's up to them to agree with it or not. So again, I won't force that, but I will just make suggestions.
But what would you know? You're single.
Well,
Yes, that is
is
true.
it not convincing? If I'm single?
No, because that's what I get most of the time too. Like, what would you know? Like, you've been single, you are single, and you don't feel the same way as I do. You won't understand my feelings. I
Oh,
don't.
then,
I don't,
t-
but clearly
yeah.
I'm making a very logical suggestion here because I'm not emotionally involved in your situation.
Yes. Okay, in that situation, just tell them then why you're asking me for help. Ask someone who's not single. Just to
Why?
protect yourself, because don't you think so?
You're
What's the point of
very
asking you to start
you're
with?
very direct with your words compared to me.
Am I?
Because I think I took the very longer way of saying, well, I understand that you may feel that way, that I'm not in a relationship, so I may not understand, but you came to me for a reason, I assume, so I'm just trying to do my best for you, which is, the very, I would think, very polite way of saying, well, you came to me for a reason. If you're not here to listen to me, then why are you even talking to me? Like, go solve your problem since you clearly know what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have to be very professional with it because I don't want to offend them. Okay, let's change the situation. Let's
Okay.
change it to something a bit more
This
personal
is
for me.
actually interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I have a lot of scars. You see,
I can tell.
unlike you, I don't let go of things because I am a hoarder and sentimental. So something that I recently or more recently experienced and I'm trying to figure out is again relationship because or friendship like relationship as in like friendship doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. I'm in a relationship with a few people that are leave you on red, likes your message, or like or react to your message, or send
Uh-huh.
stickers or emoticons, or they're just very slow in responding.
And
And I am a very like if I don't respond, I'm afraid they're gonna like die in that 3 seconds. So I
oh,
have to respond.
okay. Okay.
Also because the way I was taught growing up is if you see it, then respond to it. Why would you disrespect that person? If you can respond, then respond. Why leave it till later and maybe it's too late? This is a very depressing way of thinking about it. But because I grew up I come from a very business background,
I see.
family wise, not education, clearly, because I'm an artist. But I was raised in a way that thinking, like client emails, you can reply back because, customer service. Unlike
Right.
customer service here, some people, you respond as concise and as direct as possible, making sure to alleviate the problem.
Uh-huh.
So I applied that to messaging as well. And I've met people that, they respond 3 hours later, 6 hours later, days later. And some people who just don't respond, but clearly you read it. Or they just react to it.
I see.
So, my question then to you is in your opinion, how would you deal with this? Do you have, sorry, let me say that again. So, my question to you is
Okay.
how do you deal with that? Or have you had any experiences with that? Are you the slow responder or are you the fast responder?
Well, I think I tend to reply fast if I notice, depending on the platform, to be honest, because let's say, for example, if it's like Line, the Line app, right?
Yes, I am
I
online.
I keep that notification on all the time because that's how my mom and I communicate. And if she sees that I don't respond back quickly, she's the type to get worried. So I don't want her to be worried. So that's like the top priority to me in terms of communication, I'd say. But let's say on Instagram, I still reply fast, but maybe not the fastest. So I feel like I've been a fast responder and a slow responder before. So what was your question again?
So my question was, well, have you had any experiences with that?
Uh-huh.
And which one are you? Are you the slower responder or are you the faster responder? Faster as in if you see it and you can respond to it, then you'll respond to it, and not the, you know what, I can reply to this later. Like I see it. Like you read it, or if you're the type where you read from your lock screen, like, oh
Uh-huh.
yeah, this one I can respond later. That's my question.
Well, it's really up to the situation. If I'm working on something, I might be like, oh, I'll respond to it later. But
Just to reiterate the situation, I'm saying fast as in I see it, I can respond to it. I'm not doing anything right now, so I can
oh,
respond
okay,
to it.
okay.
Versus I see it, I'm not gonna read it, like click and read it yet. I can respond to this later. It's not really an emergency. Like I can do it while I'm lying down later or something like that. It's that conscious choice, I mean. Or are you the type
Yes.
to just open it and like double tap on it, like it, react to it, or just open it and forget that you've to respond to it?
Oh, I see.
Because there are people like that.
See, I've done all of them.
Oh my goodness. I'm not saying I haven't done it by accident, but I don't do it consciously. I don't open it and consciously forget to respond. Sometimes I respond in my mind and then I apologize for it.
Oh, same though. Like, I'm not really the type to keep someone on red, but I have done it by accident because I really got caught up on something else. But then I make sure to apologize to them later though.
I got, not to penalize or target specific people,
Mm.
I got responded but with a sticker, like an or
Uh-huh.
emoticon, and I got responded with a red. And when I asked them why, they said, "I don't know how to respond to that."
I totally understand that though.
And I told them, if you don't know how to respond, say it. I don't know how to respond to that because I can respond to that.
Oh, I see. See, I learned a new tip right now.
Because if you just, let's say, I ask and I say something weird, or maybe I don't want to really say anything wrong right now, but let's say we just talk about this on, well, I don't know how to respond I say something and you say, I don't know how to respond to that, but you don't reply to it. You just think you don't know how to respond to that. What should I say? Something weird, like, let's assume I say something weird, or I make a corny joke, like,
Okay.
or do you know line? I said, yes, I'm always online. And then it's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, how do I respond to that? Then so you then just say just type, then just say, reply to me. Then just reply to me. I don't know how to respond to that. Because if not, especially online, it says red. I don't know I don't know if yours is English. I don't know if it's universal online. Does it still say red in Japanese?
No, it says kiroku.
Isn't Kiroku like recorded?
That's kiroku. I'm saying kidoku as in read. Doku as in read. I don't know if you know the kanji though.
No, but soyu kanji. Ha 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 ha.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Exactly. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect.
Okay.
Uh, but see, that I can respond to because I can laugh at
I see.
myself because it's better for me and for you because I'm again overthinker. I assume maybe they just don't like what I said. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe they don't actually like me. See?
Eh,
Versus I don't know how to respond to that. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me just I'm trying let me explain my joke to you.
I see. I see.
I don't know how we got here, but that's the kind of situation that I've been in where I had to clear up if you don't know how to respond or what to say, then please just send something back. Like, I'm not gonna beg you for something back, but at least send a sticker, send like or react to the message, something. And if you're not the type to keep the conversation going, then at least give me that opportunity.
I see.
What about
Actually,
you? What about you?
this became a good education opportunity for me because I really didn't know what's the best way to react in those situations.
Case by case, because not everyone can feels this way. Let me just say,
Uh-huh.
because if both of you are not amazing at keeping conversations going,
Right.
then yeah, maybe it's a bit of a burden for you to keep pushing for the conversation when I just want to stop. But I've met people I've grown closer to people where I'll keep talking to myself and then they'll just respond the next day. Because for them, because there's a mismatch. And this is, of course, agreed upon. So it's very consensual, I want to say.
I see.
I'll just, if they say, sometimes they'll say, like, I'm just, like, you can just send whatever you want to send and I'll respond tomorrow. And some people, they just pass out and I don't even know. So I end up talking to myself and I think they either got caught up with something or they fell asleep and they didn't tell me. And then they'll respond. And if they don't respond for days, then I'll just follow up. Because some people they forget and then you just need a reminder. Like,
I see.
hey, by the way, following up on our previous conversation, something like that. Can you say something except I see?
Well, I don't know what to say.
Oh, okay. That's it. Thank you for letting me know.
Were you asking me something?
Yes, I will ask you something now.
Good.
How do you respond to those situations so far where you don't know what to say, you don't know how to react to certain sentences or things that people say or situations?
Well, because I didn't know that it's okay to say, I don't know how to respond to that, I was the type to either just take time to think of how to reply and I accidentally forget, or I reply but of course it's late, or I'll just do a quick reply, so like just tap and like that sentence the person sent, or send a sticker.
Are you team if I don't know how to respond, I'm going to take time to think about what I should say, or the tap and like, or how should I put it? I don't know the English word of tonikaku.
Anyway,
Like all that matters is I respond to it right now. Like I let them know that I read it or I respond to it.
ah, see,
Oh, I
now
struck a chord.
I have to be really conscious about what I do now. Um,
I finally hit something.
I usually reply something or at least react. You know how that works, right?
Yes,
On a chat system.
but my question is,
Yes.
are you the type to I want to respond properly to what they're saying because I don't want it to look like I just, like all that matter, I just need to respond. That's all that matters to me. Even if it's, like smiley face emoji, emoticon, or ha 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 ha, or lol.
It's really up to the content. If it's something not very serious, I might just focus on replying or reacting over the quality of the response. But if I know that it's something important and it's better to take time and think things through and reply, I do take that time.
Not to gaslight you, but who are you to decide if the conversation is important or not?
It's me.
Wow. Okay, we have another differing opinion. I, not to make myself feel better than you, treat every conversation of equal value because they could be important and I'll never know. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree. And it's not your responsibility to make sure that I feel happy or I feel safe, or what's the word? It's not your job to make sure I don't get offended by what you say because it's really on me.
Right.
But I am on the team of if I say something half-heartedly, or I just send something ha 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 or send a sticker, I'm afraid that I'm gonna put an end to the conversation by accident because it shows that all I need to do is respond. I'm more on the team of if I can keep the conversation going and I really do want to keep the conversation going, then I should do that. I should put in that effort. Again, I understand people think at different speeds and rates.
Okay.
Pace. People think at different paces. So if you need the time to think, instead of just saying, let's say I tell you I got something new, or I got this new, or look at this new photo I finished, or look at this new video I made after a long time, and you just say, "Oh, cool," or "Oh, I see," and then it's like, "Oh, I see." She just doesn't. She didn't really like it, I guess. Like, oh, that's cool. Oh, okay. I guess that's it. But if you send that to me, not saying that this is hypothetical, because I might not like your work, I might not understand your work, but I might be like, oh, that's cool. What did you do? Like, I'm going to try and keep the conversation going because I want you to know
Right.
that I care. I'm not saying you don't care because
Okay.
people express differently. But again, this is another of our differences, which is completely okay. It's because we have a mutual understanding, so it's okay.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just saying I'm on the team of I want to make sure that you feel I care, which I do, even though I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Where do you stand is my question.
Well, these questions are more difficult than I thought.
Really?
Yeah,
Would you like more time to think?
absolutely.
I'm sorry. None of these questions are planned for those of our listeners. None of these questions are planned. These are really built off based on what she says or what we both say. And these, I like asking questions, so these just pop up. But where do you stand? Shall I stall a bit more?
So you're asking, but didn't I answer?
Yes, you did. You did. But I'm just explain to you. I My preference is to make the sender feel that I care about what you're saying.
Tell her.
So so this is what I do. If I can't respond to you right now, let's say I'm in the middle of something, but I truly do value that you would share your happiness or your achievement with me, then I'll tell
Uh-huh.
you, I'm in the middle of something right now. I saw what or let's say they sent me a long story, or maybe they're going through something because this happens a few times a year. I'm not saying that I'm highly sought after, but once in a while when someone will reach out to you because they trust you, which I am very proud of, I'd say,
I
and feel
see.
very fortunate. But let's say they send me a block of text. "Oh, this is what happened today, and I'm really not feeling too good," or something like that. Then maybe I'd say, "I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something right now. I will do my very best to read this as soon as possible and reply to you properly because I don't want to give you a half hearted response, which might end up making you even more upset." That is my response. What would you do? Stop everything and reply, which of course would be the very ideal answer, but realistically,
Right.
can you? I can't. Depending on the situation, I can't stop a photo shoot.
For first of all, if I don't have enough time, I don't open the message to start with.
But let's say you just pulled out your phone to show me something and you see it.
Oh, like in-person conversation?
Mm, Let me throw you a hypothetical situation. Let's say you are doing a interview
Okay.
and someone says, "Can you show me some of your work?"
Okay.
Like on your Instagram or wherever on your phone. Let's say, "Oh, I have it on my
Okay.
phone." And
Okay.
somewhere along the way, you have that. I don't know what your ringtone is, but is it the line or is it the ding ding online? I don't know. Let's say someone sends you a line message and you see the notification drop down and it starts
Oh,
very like, "Oh, I know what this feels like," or "I know where this is going." Do you stop because you don't know how long the interview is gonna go, or do you say, "Oh, sorry, I'm just looking for it right now," and it's like, "Tuk, tuk, 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 tuk." What would you do?
I will prioritize the person in front of me.
Oh, I would take the risk because I don't know how serious that would be.
I see.
But then I don't want for anyone who is a future client. I don't want you to feel that I don't value you. It's just I don't know what the other person is going through, and I just want to make sure that they feel heard and are seen. That is all. I'm not
See,
trying to question
these,
your moral values, by the way. I'm just giving you these
yeah,
situations.
no, it actually helps me understand more about myself. So, yeah, give me some time to think about this.
No problem. Take your time.
Because let's say if it's like, again, obviously family emergency stuff. See, that's why I keep line as a top priority way of communication, especially from my mom, because I know that anytime I might get any notice about my dad's health condition, right? So that's like always in my head, almost subconsciously. But other than that, I'll just try to respect someone in front of me. I
Again,
hope
I
this
don't mean
answers.
no. Yes, yes. I don't mean to bring in family to the conversation. That's why I said friends
I see.
because for family, I guess I'd also do the same thing because we have a family chat as well. I'm not
Uh,
sure if you have a family chat. I
no, my dad can't use anything tech.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna compare, but we
It's
have a
okay.
family chat Um, Unfortunately, it's one of those where we get sent articles that I don't even know why sometimes, or we get sent funny videos because I don't know. Have you seen those funny videos that are just not for you? The humor code is just different.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've if you're on the wrong side of, or sorry, if we're on different sides of social media, but there's all that sound effects of the laughing ones. There's all these. There's, basically, there's these funny videos that are not funny to me, but they're funny to like my parents. I just don't get it.
I see.
But it's that sometimes when I see that, I'm not gonna respond to it because there's no emergency here.
Uh-huh.
But I still read it. Sometimes I'm not saying I. Again, I don't know if this is a hypocritical answer, but if it's family, it's a bit different for me. Because if it's an emergency, then I'll have to take that. I'll have to take that time to say, if you just excuse me for a moment, I just need to tend to this family matter right now. I'll be right
I
back.
see.
That's why I chose to phrase it as friends,
Uh-huh.
because I don't know how. I don't want to question where you stand with your family. That's also why.
Uh-huh.
Because that's a bit more personal and sensitive, I'd say, or at least for me. Yeah. If I have someone questions, you wouldn't answer your family's like messages. Well, depends. If they're just sending me something random, then I probably won't. But if it's an emergency, then it's an emergency.
Okay.
So friends,
Yes.
like Instagram messages, like maybe it's from me. It's like,
Yes.
by the way, when can you, like, can we record today? I can't record tomorrow. And you're mid interview, swipe up. I can respond to that later.
Okay, it's up to um how soon I'm supposed to respond. So if it's like let's say we need to change our recording time and stuff, and
Yes.
it's urgent, right? Because
Mm.
if it's sort of like a last minute change,
Right.
I might just I might ask the person in front of me to give me some time to respond to you in
Well, let
that
me
case.
change it then. What if it's not change
Okay.
recording time? What if it's, hey, there's a mistake with one of the thumbnails and I need to upload it right now for the schedule. Can you get it to me right now? Just a minor change.
Ah, I see. So you're expecting me to respond right now, right?
Well,
And
I want the product right now too. I don't want just the response. Because according to our schedule, we're bi-weekly. We have to upload soon. Yori, where is I need the fix right now. Why
Uh-huh.
did you, I'm not going to say, why did you miss this the first time you made it? But hey, there's a slight mistake with the text. You sent me 2 of episode 5 thumbnails. I need an episode 6. Can you send
Okay.
it? Because it's due tomorrow in my time. And I need to sleep right now. It's already 3 a.m. That situation.
I see. So I'm technically not in the middle of something.
You are
If
in the middle of something. Same situation where your interviewer asks you, hey, can you show us some of your work? And that just goes ding ding in like caps lock. Hello, episode 6 thumbnail. There's 2 of episode 5. Where's episode 6? Do you choose
I would
me or them in that situation? If we both fell off a bridge, would you save me or would you save them? Just choose the interviewer. I would probably choose the interviewer. Because like I said,
what kind of interview is it then,
our
right?
job interview.
I see. Then I would choose the interview. But also, I might just reply to you, I'm in the middle of interview or something like that.
Yeah, and I'm in the middle of stress right now. So
Yeah. So I say, I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of interview. I will respond to you ASAP after this interview.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you on that, just to be logical about it.
Yeah, but more more possible like realistic situation for me is that I'm so into the interview that I don't even notice like getting those notifications. Like I don't even read it. I would just like swipe up without even reading. That's probably the most
Mm,
realistic because maybe I'll be too nervous during the interview. I can't think of anything else.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I was trying to be most realistic in my imagination right
Uh,
now.
I'm unrealistic. That's why.
No, no, no. But it's okay. It helps me think.
That's all I'm good for. I can create hypothetical situations for you. Well, just to be realistic as well. Let's say if I was mid when we were taking our graduation, your graduation photos, and I got a message, I probably won't respond to it because I don't. One, I may not hear it. Two, I had to respect you because you paid for a certain amount of time, and I have to deliver products within that time frame. And at the time I didn't wear a watch, so I have to check my phone anyway to see if I got new messages because I don't know if someone needs to contact me. But I have told most people that if you need me right away, then don't message me, just call me because I won't hear it. I say that, but then I put my phone on silent, so counterintuitive. Huh? But I also told them, I did tell them, and then are you team chat or team call, by the way? Let me just ask you that.
Maybe chat?
Oh, really? You don't
I
like
think so.
calling with people?
Well,
This is a good
you know,
contrast.
I'm an introvert. So I need some kind of preparation when I call, except for my family.
Mm. See, I'm an introvert, but I have trust issues.
Yes.
Sorry, not but, and I have trust issues. So what helps me by calling, especially video call, is
Yes.
I get to see you. So and I get to see if you're lying to me. So because you don't have that time to think. Well, you actually do. You can just sit there and think in silence and
Right.
respond. But at least I get to see that.
Right.
So for all of you who are slow responders, I get to see you live slowly responding to me and convince myself, oh, they're not like ignoring me. They really don't know how to respond to what I'm saying. And it takes them that time. So I see it. So for
Which is
me,
happening right now.
yes. So for me, that it works well with me because I like doing this. I like seeing people, especially in this digital age, because I'm not an outgoing, literally outside going person. So this is a good remedy for me. And it helps
Interesting.
kill off that trust issue that I have.
I see.
And I've been quite blessed to have friends who are quite understanding and are okay with it as well. I doesn't mean I don't like chatting. It's just a preference because I understand that with call you kind of have to be present versus chat. You can go anywhere else. You can chat. You can respond later. You can take time to think. Versus, let's say I throw a very problematic sentence or question to you, and now I don't know if you're gonna feel bad for keeping me waiting as you just sit there and think, or not. I would
I
feel bad
see.
because I don't know how to answer. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm wasting your time here.
I see.
I see as well.
Am I supposed to say something?
No, 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 no. I'm just being very what's the word? Witty about it. Like I'm just picking on your response of I see.
I'm trying to understand your point.
There is no point because I'm blunt. Oh, that's not even. That was funnier in my head. Never mind.
See, I don't know how to respond to that.
It's okay. Most of the time, it's I'm talking to myself, and not that's not being rude. It's just it's like putting a square into a circle hole. Sometimes
What is that?
it doesn't fit. Like it doesn't match. Like
Okay.
what I'm saying just doesn't go through to you because we're just not the same. Did you get the joke that I said or?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I
see
got that.
okay, but do you know that toy with like different shapes and then you have different shaped blocks?
Okay.
That's what I mean. It's like putting a square
Ah,
into a circle hole. It just doesn't really work sometimes.
I see.
But that's where this beauty of agree to disagree is nice because even though we may not understand each other 100% of the times, maybe even half of the times we talk, we've both developed a good understanding of one another where, well, that's what they think and that's okay because that's what works for them, but I know what works for me, and they're not forcing me to, let's say, going back to our first example of, it's not my job to solve their problems for them because that's their relationship, not mine. Even that situation, I told you that, well, I have an opposing opinion, but you didn't say, why would you do that?
Right.
It's more of, I see. Okay. If that's what you want to do, if that's what works
Okay.
for you, what makes you happy, then okay. I'm not here to force you to change your views. I'm not here to tell you you're wasting your time, you're only going to get hurt. Because you'll figure it out. It's your life.
Okay.
I'm not you, so I don't know what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Clearly you have your reasons and you don't seem to be putting yourself in any particular danger because let's say if the decision had something to do with my safety, I assume I would as well be try to be more involved in changing your opinion.
Okay.
Let me give you another example.
Okay.
I don't know if you're into luxury goods. I don't know if I am either. I am not sponsored, but I'm a fan of Uniqlo. Very affordable, very comfortable.
Same.
But let's talk about purchasing or collecting luxury items. Are you into any items or things that you are considered luxury, so expensive?
I I do collect some anime merch, like figures or any goods.
Are they really expensive from what I've heard?
Yeah, some of them could be really expensive, if it's like a very detailed figures, it could be hundreds of bucks.
May I ask why you would spend that much money on collecting figures?
Cause I like those characters and getting them, having them in 3D world makes me happy.
I'm not here to attack your hobbies or interests, but my opinion on it is more, if you purchase expensive goods, it should help you to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Make up for the costs or cover the costs of purchasing it
Uh-huh.
somehow. Let's say like you purchase, I don't know if you drive, but you purchase an expensive car because your job maybe is like real estate agent, so you need to look the part, but then over time you get paid and you cover the cost of that purchase.
I see.
I'm not saying that, I'm not attacking you again in saying your figures may doesn't really work for you, but does it help you in any way? Has it helped you?
It has helped me greatly.
I see.
mentally. So if I'm allowed to elaborate here,
Of course, of course.
I usually place them where I can view them from my desk, or yeah, I make a place only dedicated for anime merch. And I do that because it helps me motivate and get back to work, for example, or even just go through my day. Now you look so surprised.
No, 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 no. I'm just wondering if there's anything else that you would like to say, or was there more, or was that it? Because I don't want to cut you off when you're getting passionate about what you're talking about.
Right. Do you have any questions?
How many do you have?
The detailed ones, 3,
Oh,
and Nendroid,
so
again,
what is an
3.
Android? Is it the small ones?
Yeah, the small ones. I don't know how to
Even
explain it, but
it's okay.
yeah.
Even those, from what I've looked into, can get quite expensive. Androids.
Hey.
I don't know if because it's imported, to Canada, but still, the detailed ones, if they're not worth half of a phone, sometimes if not more, are out of stock.
Well, the most expensive one I have isn't as expensive as you're thinking, though. But I see your point, though. Yeah, these can be really expensive if you collect a lot.
But at the end of the day, does it just go back to it makes me happy, it helps me become more or be more productive and get more work done. Therefore, for me, this is worth it. Or this has been and will always be worth it.
Well, it's not like I get these merch for any kind of anime characters. I only get it when it's from my all-time favorite anime. So
I see.
when I get them, I'm so sure that I love these characters. I will always love these characters. Like Edward from Fullmetal Alchemist or Yurio from Yuri on Ice.
Have you had a buyer's regret with them at all?
No, they become motivation to live.
Are you an impulsive buyer or are you an assertive buyer? Do you know what those two words mean?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm not impulsive.
I can tell from your character.
Like, when I want it, I get it.
But that sounds like very impulsive buyer.
Okay.
There's a saying that there's something that I say whenever I'm starting to shift into impulsive buyer mood
Uh-huh.
when I have my card in my hand.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, it's actually taken from a lyrics, which is from a 48 group, Teppen Totande from NMB48. There's a lyric, there's a lyric from the song NMB48's Teppen Totande, or I don't know the English word equivalent or translation of it, but like I achieved the top or something like that. There's a section in lyrics that says "hoshii mono wa hoshii wa," like something that I want. How do we translate that? If I want what I want,
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to translate it. "Hoshii mono wa hoshii wa," something I want, the thing that I want. And I just can't fight the feeling sometimes when I see something and I'm thinking, I really want this. I really want it. But there's someone told me about the 7-day rule where you leave it for 7 days, and if you still want it, then you really want it. If not, then it's impulsive. So are you impulsive or are you I know I want this, so I'm gonna buy it.
For anime figures, I'm really sure if I want it or not.
But then let me add, if a new detailed figure of Edward from Full Metal Alchemist comes out, would you buy it or would you think about it?
Depends on the design.
It's better than what you have right now. It's different.
That's a good
Even
question.
more detailed for a similar price. Just a little bit more premium than what you have right now. Let's say this is 300 and this new one more detailed 350. Or is that too little? I don't know.
Like it didn't even cost that much to start with. So
let's just say
okay.
just to upvalue your products a bit.
Well, if I feel like I might regret by not getting that in the future, I would still get it. And let's say if I felt like I've wasted my money, even though I know that I might only get only small amount back, I might just sell it.
That's something I want to take a more deeper dive into, the question of or the
Okay.
topic of regret of not buying, regret of buying, regret of doing, regret of not doing. I have a lot of regrets of not doing because
I can tell.
That's very kind of you to notice, actually, based on I don't know how many stories I've told you now. But I've missed out on a lot, and I've decided that it's okay that I missed out, and I try not to regret it. I try to say, well, because I missed out on, let's say, making friends, which apparently I don't not regret. I regret that a lot, and trusting people at a younger age, so I don't have so much of a trust issue now. I learned to protect myself. I think I'm just lying to myself at that point, but let's do something lighter on purchasing because we talked about purchasing just now. Just so we don't get too emotional and stick around for another like 2 hours talking about this.
But you
I don't-
already know my answer, right?
Yes,
I'm
I
the type
do.
to just get it and then regret.
No, but don't you think it'll be a waste to sell it after you bought your figure? Even if you regret buying it? Yes, you'll get some money back, but money maybe, like certain foods, it's just an acquired taste. You need to give it some time and it'll grow on you.
Well, I'll just see it as buying experience and the feeling that you've had it. And like once you're satisfied with it or like even get tired of it, I would still see it as I spent money on that experience and the feeling that I can obtain from possessing those things.
Something I can say I regret buying are Beats headphones. Beats
This?
Studio headphones because the leather peeled off.
I see.
I don't know yours. Sorry, when I bought mine, it was still like Beats by Dre Beats, not Apple owned Beats.
This is Apple owned Beats.
Yeah,
so-
mine is the OG, like original. I got a red one for my birthday.
Oh,
Now when I had a lot of my headphones, they peeled off. And it still works. It's just I have been told for someone who can afford to buy a new one, why do you wear the old one? Or why do you, because it peels off, when I take off my headphones, my ear is like red. Or I have another one that's white and it's peeling off. Not Beats. And my ear is like all white because it has like all the residue.
I see.
Because I have sentimental value to them. I was
Uh-huh.
given this and it still works. It's just aesthetics, you know? You know, it looks broken on the outside, but the inside it's still beautiful. It's still
Uh-huh.
bassy. It's like all cracked, like all like stiff plastic. I don't know about yours now, but I don't regret buying the Beats. I
Uh-huh.
kept it. It has its uses, so I didn't sell it. I'm the type to. I'm sure I'll find a use for it. Type,
I see.
even if it wasn't yet, I'm gonna use it. I'll find a use for it no matter what. Type.
Oh,
Aside from it being a birthday present, if even if it wasn't, I'll figure out a way.
I have a question.
Of course.
So, I'm a minimalist, kind of.
Okay.
So, I'm the type who, okay, first of all, I don't buy so many things.
Because you're a minimalist.
Yes. And I buy it only when I'm so sure.
Okay.
And
That sounds very responsible.
I let go of stuff.
Okay.
Probably more easily than my parents do or people around me do. But are you the type to have difficult time throwing things away?
Yes, especially my feelings.
I see. I see.
Okay. No. Yes, I do. I do have trouble throwing things away if, let's say, they have a very important or monumental memory to them. Like, coming of age day, which I don't have, by the way. But just as an example,
I see.
let's say I was given. Oh, I have an example. I was given my first like hate letter, HATE, hate letter, and I still keep it.
Wait, I didn't know that there's such thing called hate letter.
Haven't you watched animes? There's love letters and then there's like hate letters.
I've never got one, so
Whoa, so egotistical of you to say. I've never had one before, so
I'm
clearly-
sorry if that offended you, but I didn't mean to.
No. I'm just trying to make something out of nothing here.
Okay.
No, yeah, I got my first hate letter in high school here. I would call it a hate letter because it's literally full of. It's 3 pages. It's 3 pages of somebody telling me what they don't like about me.
And
So just to give a summary, it's about me being very indecisive. So again, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a person that prefers calling, but because I like I like talking so much, as you can tell, this is going past 1 hour, 20 something minutes. I don't want the conversation to end, and I don't know how to end it.
I see.
Back then, at least.
That's right.
So, I know it sounds really cringy to say now, but it's like, you can hang up whenever you want. But like, how can I hang up whenever I want? Because you might be mid conversation, you might be mid sentence. I might cut you off.
I see.
And it would also be things like I would tell them about how like I'm not feeling too happy or I'm not feeling too okay, because I thought that's what friends do, right? You could go to them and you can tell them, hey, I'm actually not feeling too well today, or I'm not feeling too confident today.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't like that. They said, why are you going to us and troubling us with your sadness when everyone just wants to feel, we just want to hear you say, I'm feeling great today. Everything's fine. When really it's not though inside. So
I
that
see.
gave me confusion. So I thought, oh, so this is what they really felt like. And they said, we're not really your real friends. I'm like, whoa, okay.
They said that to you?
Yeah, like we're not even like this person is not even your real friend. I'm not even sure if I'm your real friend. I'm like, because real friends, and then it's like, because real friends won't give you anything like this, right? I'm like, no, I guess not. And I still keep it. Just that's a very long way to answer your question on having a hard time of letting things go and throwing it away. Just like, the headphones that I have that are birthday presents. Well, they're presents. I don't know if they count. Do they count? Because they're presents.
Well, but I'm the type to keep birthday presents though, because
So okay.
even this cup I'm using right now, Andy Warhol style tomato soup cup.
Looks like Gucci.
Oh, is it? I got this from my best friend probably like 10 years ago or something. I still use it.
I'm surprised all the design's still intact for something that's 10 years old.
Yeah, I take good care of this, so.
So taking into account that birthday presents are not included, the hate letter I can't let go of, it seems. Because I felt deep down that a part of it is still true, that I still clearly talk too much and don't know. I now know how to end conversations, by the way.
Right.
But it's still long. It still takes me a long time to get my point across sometimes because apparently I talk in analogies and apparently I can't get straight to the point because I feel the need to explain myself. Yes, question. You don't have to raise your hand. There's only two of us here.
Just making sure. So, from my perspective, it looks like you're holding on to that old story by keeping that hate letter. Like that, those are some of the stuff I would throw away first. Maybe like even erase from my memory because it's not okay. You don't need to if that kind of motivates you in a way. But if it's only making you stick with that old version of yourself and you still have like attachment to that, obviously, right? Like, okay, I got this kind of letter. People didn't like me. Just let that go. Because there are obviously a lot of people who enjoy spending time with you. Any thoughts?
Yes. Let me respond to your remark just now.
Okay.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so yes, I agree with what you're saying. But to just justify myself and explain my reasoning is
Okay.
I have two things from people that I have a negative memory of that I still keep.
Okay.
One is a letter, one is a plush or stuffed toy, I guess.
Okay.
And they're two people that I'd say, well, actually I have more, but one of them I've made peace with, and it's quite useful. So one of them they gave me a book that they cut out they glued all the pages together and then they cut out the middle, so it's like a secret storage book kind of thing. Very useful. I overfilled it so it doesn't really close anymore, which kind of defeats the purpose of a hidden book storage. But that one I made peace with the person, so I just kept it. It's fine. It was a parting gift, so perfect. The other two I keep. One, I feel bad throwing a stuffed toy away, and the hate letter, like you said, it's not the story I hang on to. It's the person that I hang on to that I have a hard time saying goodbye to, because whenever I see these things, I'm reminded of the person. Because if I throw away this person, not throw away this person. If I throw away these objects, I feel that I'm saying goodbye to the person, which is actually a good thing, I'd say.
Okay.
But if I'm saying goodbye to their existence in my life if I throw these away. Which, like you said, is probably the first thing I would throw away.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel bad throwing away a stuffed toy. That's why. The letter, I don't care. I can shred. The stuffed toy, I feel bad. Because it's a stuffed toy.
Okay, that part I don't really understand, but I'm trying to understand your point. So you feel sorry for that stuffed toy? Just to make it clear to the audience, he's showing me the actual stuffed toy.
It's Pan Pan, or it's Pan Pan from We Bare Bears, for anyone who knows. The We Bare Bears has a show with Grizz, which is a grizzly bear, Ice Bear, which is an ice bear, and Pan Pan, which is a panda. And for those who don't know, Pan Pan has anxiety and he's always on his phone. And he's like me. And that's why I was given this. Because he's never sure of he's always like, "Oh, I'm not sure." Or like, "I don't know." And that's what he's like. And that's what I was like. And I still am like.
I see.
And that's how this person viewed me. Just to give a spill, this is also a response to my confession to somebody. I don't know if they're listening, but I still have the stuffed toy. I should probably say goodbye to it so I can say goodbye to the negative memory.
It makes me tear up a bit though. I'm becoming a little bit emotional.
You should cry. Why though, if I may ask why? Is it because is it because the panda's wearing a shirt? Is that why you're tearing up? Like you
No, I'm tearing up seeing that. I don't know how to express. To me, it looks like you're enjoying that version of yourself who has anxieties and like being perceived as that character. You're still like kind of not enjoying, but
it's so cute. If you look past the emotional part of it, it looks so nice.
So you like that object?
Well, I don't like the meaning or the memory behind it, but it's kind of just, it's become a part of my decor. So I kind of just got used to it. Yes, every time I see it, I remember where and who it's from.
But do you think it helps you over time? Because it reminds you of bad memories by seeing that. And I'm not forcing you to throw it away right now, of course. You shouldn't do that. No, don't do that.
No.
Just do it when you feel comfortable enough.
No,
but I'm just asking.
To answer your question, yes, it does help me. Because it reminds me of who I used to be and how far I've come. That is a short answer.
I see. That's good to know.
After all that, but to get to that point, I have to replay all the memories. So, it's, I don't know an analogy of this, but, roses have thorns, right?
Yes.
But they kind of smell nice. They look nice.
Yes.
So every time I look at this, it's like that initial grabbing. Then you get hit by all the thorn first, and then you can bring it up to your face to smell it. So there's a little bit of pain, but after a while, you get used to it because your hands are like they get used to the pain, so you become numb to it. But that's just the mental damage or struggle or journey that I go through every time I see it. Like, oh yeah, this used to be me. Like, replay it, like, and then, wait, it looks so cute. Like, I used to be that, and how far I've come. Thank you.
I see. I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
It's not on me to decide what's good for you or not, but like.
Thank you for not forcing me to throw it away.
Yeah, but like I was worried first because I wasn't really sure where you were coming from.
Thank you for your concern.
No worries.
But I think that's a very good way to end it. While we are different, we still find ways to tolerate and get along with one another. And I think that's a value or a practice that I'd say is missing in some places today, which I kind of do miss. But to end today's episode, where can people find you on social media?
So I have an Instagram for my artworks, and just type at iori.artwork. So it's at mark IORI dot ARTWORK.
And if you would like to find my works or my social media, my personal social media, aside from my work one, it is at Jasoto, which is the at sign, JASSOETO. And if you would like to find our podcast Instagram and all our other links, you can find us also on Instagram at sign Quantum Perspectives. That is QUANTUMPERSPECTIVES. Quantum Perspectives. Thank you for listening to today's episode, and we hope to see you at the next one. Bye.
Bye.